The whispers started when I moved into the old Victorian house on the outskirts of town. At first, I brushed them off as figments of my imagination, the product of an overactive mind in an unfamiliar environment. But as the days turned into weeks and the whispers grew louder, I couldn't ignore the unsettling feeling that I was not alone. It began innocently enough, a fleeting shadow in the corner of my eye, a chill that lingered in the air long after the sun had set. I convinced myself that the old house was simply settling, its ancient timbers creaking with the weight of history. But deep down, I knew there was something more sinister lurking within its walls. The first time I saw her, she appeared as a faint apparition at the foot of my bed. Her ethereal form shimmered in the moonlight, her eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. I blinked, convinced that I was dreaming, but when I opened my eyes again, she was still there, watching me with a silent intensity that sent shivers down my spine. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. Paralyzed with fear, I could only watch as she faded into the darkness, leaving behind a lingering sense of unease that clung to me like a shroud. From that moment on, the whispers grew louder, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of despair. They spoke of tragedy and loss, of souls trapped between worlds, yearning for release. I tried to block them out, to drown them with music and distractions, but they followed me wherever I went, their spectral presence a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within the house. Night after night, I lay awake in bed, my heart pounding in my chest as I waited for her to appear once more. She would drift through the walls like a specter, her gaze fixed upon me with a haunting intensity that chilled me to the bone. I knew I had to leave, to escape the suffocating grip of the house and its restless inhabitants. But every time I tried to flee, an invisible force held me in place, binding me to the cursed land like a prisoner of my own fear. As the days passed, I grew weaker, my mind consumed by the relentless whispers that echoed through the halls. I could feel her presence growing stronger, her spectral form looming closer with each passing night. And then, one fateful evening, she spoke to me, not in whispers, but in a voice that echoed through the depths of my soul. She told me of her tragic fate, of the darkness that had claimed her in life and now bound her in death. She begged me for release, for freedom from the eternal torment that held her captive. I wanted to help her, to ease her suffering and find peace for her restless soul. But as I reached out to touch her, her form wavered and dissolved into mist, leaving me alone in the darkness once more. In that moment, I realized the truth. The ghosts that haunted the old Victorian house were not here to harm me, but to seek solace in their shared suffering. They were lost souls, trapped between worlds, yearning for redemption in the afterlife. And as I lay in bed, surrounded by the whispers of the dead, I knew that my fate was sealed. I was bound to the house, just like them, condemned to wander its halls for all eternity as a prisoner of the darkness that lurked within.